Welcome to She is Resilient, a podcast for women on their healing journeys who are ready to start living their most authentic and empowered lives outside of survival mode. I'm your host, Tatiana, trauma and somatic therapist, as well as a holistic coach, and I'm on a mission to help more women heal their nervous systems. Each week, me and my guests are going to get real and vulnerable about the experiences that led us to becoming the empowered and resilient women we are today. You'll leave this podcast with the skills, knowledge, and inspiration to start creating the life you deserve. Because if another woman can do it, so can you. Welcome back to another episode of She is Resilient. Today we're talking about how to get better sleep because we all know how important sleep is, and yet so many of us are still not getting at least 8 hours of sleep. And actually, studies show that women require more than 8 hours of sleep. So if you're getting less than 8 hours, then your nervous system is really going to be impacted. Sleep is one of your basic physiological needs. So when you don't get the proper amount of sleep, then your nervous system is going to remain in survival mode. And trauma survivors actually require more sleep than the average person because trauma and living in survival mode is exhausting. So honor your body when it needs sleep because without it, you can't really move forward in your healing journey. When you don't get at least 8 hours of sleep, you're going to really struggle with focus and concentration. You're going to struggle with retaining information or memory. It's going to impact your mood, so you might feel more irritable or anxious, and it could also increase your symptoms of depression. Your judgment is impaired, so it might be difficult to make healthy decisions or a decision at all. Your immune system weakens, your hormones become imbalanced, and you become more sensitive to pain. So you see how everything is connected? Now, think about the last 5 years. Do you think in the last 5 years you've been able to get a consistent 8 hours of sleep? And of course, I know that it's unrealistic to get 8 hours of sleep every single night because life happens, right? But you definitely should be getting at least 8 hours of sleep most days than not. Not getting 8 hours of sleep should not be the norm. So if your answer is no, if you haven't been able to get at least 8 hours of sleep consistently in the last 5 years, think about how this has impacted your entire body and overall nervous system. Sometimes we get stuck on trying to regulate emotions and heal trauma simply by going to therapy once a week. But the reality is that healing your nervous system requires a holistic approach. And most times than not, we have to go back to the basics, nutrition and sleep. Right? A lot of the time, our basic physiological needs are not even met. And I've said this numerous times before, but we cannot heal the nervous system. We cannot move through survival mode if we are not meeting our basic physiological needs. So I have episodes on nutrition if you want to go back and listen to those. But for today, here are 5 tips for better sleep. Number 1, legs up the wall. This is one of the most effective ways you can activate your parasympathetic nervous system. All you have to do is lay on your bed or the floor and bring your legs straight up. Keep them here up until you sigh, yawn, or swallow. So try this tonight and see how easily you fall asleep. You can also do this if you wake up in the middle of the night and struggle to fall back asleep. So again, keep your legs up until you sigh, yawn, or swallow. Number 2, drink lavender, chamomile, or peppermint tea. These teas are non-caffeinated, of course, and will help calm your body so that you can easily fall asleep. So number 1 is legs up the wall. Number 2 is drinking lavender, chamomile, or peppermint tea. Of course, there are other teas that you can try, but lavender, chamomile, and peppermint tea have calming effects. Number 3, Add magnesium drops to your tea or water before bed. So magnesium helps relax your muscles. It regulates your melatonin levels so that you don't have to take melatonin every night. And that way your body can go back to producing melatonin naturally. And it also reduces anxiety. I've talked about magnesium before in other episodes, and magnesium is really, really important. If you're not getting enough magnesium, it's going to impact your entire body. Number 4, honor your body by putting down your phone at least 30 minutes before you want to be asleep. And I know that this might be really hard for a lot of you, but I invite you to put your phone in another room if it's really hard, if you're going to be distracted by your phone, or put a reminder on your phone to stop scrolling 30 minutes before bed. Right? This is important. If you're scrolling on social media, if you're on your phone doing anything else, it's really going to impact your ability to sleep. So really honor yourself, honor your body by putting it down at least 30 minutes before you want to be asleep. And lastly, number 5, reduce the amount of caffeine and alcohol that you're consuming. Both of these substances will directly impact your overall health. Caffeine and alcohol are quick fixes, but they will not help your body in the long run. So let's do a little recap. Number 1, legs up the wall. Number 2, drinking tea. Number 3, magnesium. Number 4, putting your phone down at least 30 minutes before bed. And number 5, reducing the amount of caffeine and alcohol you're consuming. So like always, I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a direct message on Instagram. And if not, I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you so much for joining me today. If you absolutely loved this episode, I would so appreciate it if you subscribed and left a review on Apple Podcast, or take a screenshot and share this episode on social media. Don't forget to tag me at tatiana.holistic.coach. The more nervous systems we reach, the more generational cycles we break, and the more we contribute to a kinder and safer world. And if you're looking for somatic healing services, send me a DM and I'd love to chat on how I can support you. I'll see you in the next episode.